To think not everything we do has to rhyme.
But rhymes help people remember things they like, Aaron. I mean, you like hokey pokey, don't you?
I do like the hokey pokey.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and sump pump technicians.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.89%, APR 5.92% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny for us today with highs getting into the low 70s and gusty winds, although not as strong as we saw the other day. As we go into tonight, though, we will see rain develop and eventually chances of thunderstorms, some which could be on the stronger side, so have ways to get warnings while you sleep. Otherwise, a breezy start and temperatures falling throughout the day on Monday with chances of scattered snow showers as we head into the afternoon. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
So we got into the Big Ten win totals last break of all 18 teams in the Big Ten, which is still not natural for me to say. It's a lot of teams in the Big Ten. We got through 15 of them, so we will get through the next 3 during this segment. Want to start with who's next up on the list? Your Buckeyes and mine at 9.5 wins. What do you guys think about that?
So for me, it just feels like Ohio State every season, it's already made 10 wins. So naturally in my head, I'm thinking hammer the over. But the Buckeyes do have a challenging schedule this year. They're going to start with Ball State. They've got Texas after that. You play Illinois at home. You go to Iowa, which is always a tougher game. You go to Indiana. You go to USC. You have to play Oregon at home. And then, of course, you wrap up with Michigan. If the Buckeyes falter at all this season, I think you could certainly see 3 losses in there. But for me, I just don't see it. Julian Sayin back for another season. Jeremiah Smith still on the roster. Matt Patricia, year 2, albeit with changes on the defense. I still have belief in Ohio State. Like I said, I think it's a copy and paste 10 wins every year for Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of chatter this offseason that maybe they could be the first 3-loss team to make the CFP with how difficult their schedule is, depending on what games they lose, I guess. You could very well see that. I always look at, there's kind of swing games on the schedule every year for them. And to me, there's 4 that it's I could see it going either way. You got at Texas, September 12th. You have at Indiana, October 17th. Oregon here, November 7th. And then always the game against the team up north. I feel like, I don't want to say the rest of the wins are automatic. You could maybe argue that at USC would be a tough game. But out of those 4 that I mentioned, it seems like they would be likely to split those or do better just based off of their track record.
That's what I mean, where it's I have a hard time seeing them losing 3 games.
Yeah, so if they were to just split those, we'd get them at 10 wins, like you mentioned, right where they normally are, if not better. I think more often than not, Vegas gets these numbers right.
Yes. The fascinating thing to me is these are FanDuel numbers we're looking at, the win totals. FanDuel to win the national championship odds, Ohio State is the favorite to win the national championship at plus 550.
Yeah, you see, that kind of seems counterintuitive.
It does seem counterintuitive, but you and I were talking about it during the break. Maybe it means that they view Ohio State as a battle-tested regular season team geared up for a playoff run. Right. I don't know. I really don't know.
And I always think that Ohio State, I feel like they know Buckeye fans want to bet on Ohio State, and there's more Buckeye fans than almost any other fan base. I mean, there is more Buckeye fans. So wouldn't it feel like they know that everyone's going to slam this line? So in my mind,
oh, you like the under. You're saying
I'm
a 3-loss Ohio State team.
But my betting, if I wasn't an Ohio State fan, my betting odds would tell me the under would be the way to go. If I was being really smart, which typically when I bet I'm not, especially on Ohio State.
Saying these are sucker odds out there, Isaiah.
They are. And I look at these games too. I think a lot of it's going to depend on that Week 2 game. We drop Texas in Week 2. Everyone's going to be thinking 3 losses. That doesn't sound like that crazy now.
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah, as someone who considers themselves a contrarian bettor, I totally get your logic on Ohio State.
It's a good point by him.
And here's the thing. Like I said, if they do go under and get to 9, I don't see them getting left out of the college football playoff. You combine whether this is right or not, and you think this factors into it, I do. The brand that is Ohio State, and if they have the opportunity to put them in, I think that they would lean towards putting if it's even somewhat logical, if they're on the bubble of the CFP and they're around the 12th team at 9-3, I think the committee wants to put a team like Ohio State in the college football playoff.
It's tough to say how good their schedule will be right now because you never know how it plays out during an actual season.
Right, like we thought Penn State was going to be a tough game last year.
If you were to ask me on paper right now, Ohio State, their schedule is tough. So a 3-loss Ohio State team, I'd imagine it would be hard to keep them out of a college football playoff.
I mean, even I broke down the 4 games that I thought were swing games. Like, even if you throw USC into the mix, you have the other 7 that you're going to assume that they're going to win. They go 2-3 in their tough games. They're at 9 wins. They're making the college football playoff. But if you were to bet the over on this win total, you would be losing your bet.
Yeah.
So, and even at Iowa, like I wouldn't be surprised every year if Iowa's ranked 21st at the end of the season.
Of course, 8-4 Iowa is 21st at the end of the year every season, like clockwork.
And I mean, we did have an instance where Ohio State lost a game at Iowa pretty big that left them out of a college football playoff in somewhat recent memory that we would all like to forget. Okay, so if we're all good talking about Ohio State, let's move on to the 2 teams that are tied for the highest win total in the Big Ten for this 2026 college football season. Let's go to the defending national champions in Indiana first. Their total is at 10.5. I don't know how I feel about this. They're losing a lot. Obviously, they're losing Fernando Mendoza, but it's like Kurt Cignetti seems to know what he's doing in this transfer portal thing, and I don't know what to think about Josh Hoover, which is the transfer from TCU that's going to be replacing Fernando Mendoza. I honestly, look, Fernando Mendoza, people want to act like he came out of nowhere. He was the number 1 transfer portal quarterback last year.
Yeah, he was good at Cal.
Yeah, really good at Cal. We just, it's Cal. So the casual college football fan just wasn't really aware.
It's Cal, and it's also Indiana. Remember, at this point last year, nobody was talking about Indiana making any noise in the Big Ten.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And you're losing like Pons on defense. They're losing a lot.
They're losing heart and soul of that team.
Yeah. You have their schedule pulled up, right? What's their schedule look like? I know you were telling me that it was pretty light.
It's light.
Break.
It's light. Their biggest games are against Ohio State and Michigan, and they're going to play USC at home. There's really not a lot of tough tests on this schedule for Indiana, but I find myself in the same boat as you, where I'm like, how repeatable is this for the Hoosiers? They obviously had a great season in year 1 under Kurt Cignetti making the college football playoff. Year 2, they win the national championship with Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner. Can they do it all over again? I'm very curious to see what they look like at the beginning of the season, how they come out with a new quarterback, with some other new pieces across their roster. To say that they're going to win 11 games, is tough. It's tough for me at this point. So I'll bet the under right now on Indiana.
Yeah, when it comes to like we were talking about, maybe like a potential like sucker bet or like Vegas baiting, I feel like people are assuming they can't do it again. Mm-hmm. It's Indiana. It was a nice 1-year thing.
So I'm falling into it then.
Like Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
This is another no touch for me.
Yes,
like the way that you said no touching on Michigan, no touch on Indiana.
I don't want any part of Indiana's win total this year because I guess it all comes down to what you think about Curt Cignetti. If you think that this is kind of just like a one-hit wonder type of thing, then go ahead and take the under on this. But if you believe in him and the new age of college football and how Indiana is kind of like the blueprint, it's crazy to say, but it seems like, Ryan Day even said at some point in the offseason, like, yeah, we want older dudes now. And that's exactly what Indiana did. They just first year he went and just brought all his JMU guys over. And then last year, he solidified it with Fernando Mendoza coming out of Cal, like we mentioned earlier. Yeah, I think a no touch for me.
And I don't think it's as easy in my mind to predict Indiana because of the Fernando Mendoza transfer, and then now they're getting back-to-back transfer quarterbacks. It's extremely difficult to hit 2 times in a row. We've seen a million high-profile quarterbacks that have transferred, that have gotten to the next spot where we thought they were going to be great, and then they weren't. And so if you believe in Curt Cignetti, and maybe he can make it happen again, but, yet again, this quarterback's learning a whole new system. Is he going to be the number 1 overall pick next year? Probably not. Are they doing that 2 years in a row? I don't think so. So the quarterback play falls off a little bit. And then when I look at the schedule, I see Ohio State, Michigan back-to-back, and then I see USC and at Washington back-to-back. I think those are 2 hard stretches in a row. Do they drop one of those games on each of those? I could see that happening. Do I think the under is more likely? Probably.
All right, well, let's talk about Oregon then, because Oregon has almost the exact same schedule as Indiana. They have the exact same win total predicted, 10.5 right now. For me, I just think the immense pressure that's going to be on Oregon this season might end up doing them in. I think Oregon is really good and is going to be really good. I thought Oregon was going to win the national championship last season. Dante Moore is back. I just think that puts so much pressure on the program. Again, it's a light schedule. They do play Ohio State and Michigan back-to-back towards the end of the season. I could see 2 losses right there alone. The pressure, end of the season, these 2 big games. I just think this is a college football playoff team. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I just think that the pressure that they're going to be playing with this season, the pressure that Dante Moore is going to be playing with as the potential number 1 overall pick, it might just add up to be a little bit too much.
Yeah, 11 wins is a lot for any college football program. You mentioned Dante Moore coming back. I'm a big believer in Dan Lanning. I feel like his reputation is kind of sinking recently because you look at the last 2 college football playoffs, them getting blown out.
I like Lanning a lot too. That I think this guy is a guy that comes back for blood.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. I don't like him as I think so. You had the whole Colorado thing where he was saying that they were just doing stuff for clicks.
Yeah.
And then they went around and did a bunch of stuff for clicks with all these hype videos that they have and stuff. So I don't like him as an individual per se, but when it comes to his success in the win-loss column as a college football coach, I'm a believer in him, especially in the regular season, which is what this is about. It's win totals just for the regular season. And I think Oregon can easily go 11-1. Even 12-0, but 11, it's like I said, it's a lot for any college football program. So we'll see what Oregon can do next year. Who do you guys think, based off of this, is going to win the Big Ten? Are you guys still believers in Ohio State going to Indianapolis?
It's tough because it seems like no matter what the Buckeyes do, they just don't win the Big Ten anymore, right? It's beat Michigan, win the national championship, don't win the Big Ten. I'm looking at this right now. I just don't know how good Indiana's going to be, right? That's such a large question mark. Penn State, we were kind of talking a little bit of mess on Penn State there, but what if they surprise people this season?
Right.
You talked about the importance of having veterans. Well, they got Rocco Beck. They got a veteran quarterback. But sure, give me Ohio State. I think Julian Sayin's going to have an unbelievable season this year. So I think, are we discounting Julian Sayin right now again? Give me Ohio State.
Yeah, I think we kind of are. Isaiah, who do you got in the Big Ten?
It's so tough. And the other thing I think about, too, is just the schedule alone. You talk about Penn State, who at the end of the day has a pretty cakewalk schedule, and it's who can get to Indy. If you can get to Indy, you can win the game. Can Ohio State win enough Big Ten games to get to Indy when they probably have, when I would say they definitely have the toughest schedule in the Big Ten? So I think that road ahead of them, if they drop 2 Big Ten games, is Oregon dropping more than 2? Is Penn State dropping more than 2? Maybe Indiana only drops 1. Like, I think there's so much variance, and for Ohio State's schedule this year, it's hard to go against Oregon being the leader just because they have the easier schedule. They have the quarterback coming back that I would put on the same level as Julian Sayin, and they don't have as many hard games. So if I had to pick one, I'd say Oregon probably wins the Big Ten, but I think Ohio State might beat them head-to-head.
Coming up next in 2 minutes, we'll give you our winners and losers in NFL free agency on a Fan Sports Sunday.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at Coughlin Ford. During Ford Truck Month, take over $13,000 off MSRP, plus no payments until June on select new F-150s. New Bronco Sport or Ranger. Lease for $399 a month for 48 months. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
Factory rebates to the dealer. 90-day deferred payments. Not all buyers will qualify. Bronco $399 down. Ranger $2,000 down. 7,500 miles per year. 25 cents per mile over. Excludes $250 dock fee. $395 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. Ends 3/31/26.
Nobody celebrates St. Patty's Day quite like Skyline. Come enjoy your favorite 3, 4, or 5-way made with green noodles. It's a tasty tradition that happens once a year, and March 17th is the day. Come and get your green ways at participating Skyline locations.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
So we've had a pretty eventful NFL free agency so far, headlined by I guess this isn't free agency, but more off-season with the Max Crosby trade that did not happen, going to the Ravens, and then the Ravens subsequently signing Trey Hendrickson. I wanted to get your guys' biggest winners and losers from NFL free agency when it comes to a player and team perspective.
Well, I want to start off with the Max Crosby thing with the Ravens, because I think so many people right now are talking like the Ravens, they played the NFL, right? They get Trey Hendrickson, and they get to keep their 2 first-round picks. Am I crazy in saying I would rather have Max Crosby than Trey Hendrickson and 2 first-round picks?
You're not, but I am someone who subscribed to the theory that you just described. And the reason why I think this is better is because is Max Crosby worth Trey Hendrickson and 2 first-round picks? The fact that you're keeping your 2 first-round picks and getting a player that's maybe 85% of what Max Crosby is worth the trade-off to me.
To me, though, so here's the thing. The Ravens don't ever do this, right? Like, they don't ever go out and make the big swing trading draft picks for the big guy out there. Max Crosby is, and I don't want to make this segment all about Max Crosby. I do want to talk about other teams. But Max Crosby is a culture changer in the NFL, right? Doesn't it feel like the Ravens need to get over that hump and make a big swing for a guy like this? Like, they've been the same team for so long. They just fired Jim Harbaugh. They bring in a new head coach. To me, they've got the guys on offense. Now you have this guy that can be a game wrecker on defense. And I get it. Like, I like Trey Hendrickson. I think he's a good player. But Max Crosby affects the game every down he plays. And that's a thing. He plays every down. If I'm the Ravens, I want Max Crosby. I just want that for what he does to the culture of your organization.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked because if you look at the way the Max Crosby trade was going to break down, basically his guaranteed money is done after 2 years. And that is on a similar timeline to the Lamar Jackson contract as well. So it seemed like you had like a nice 2-year window with the Ravens where they were really going for it with the Max Crosby trade. Then it gets nixed. I'm shocked that Trey Hendrickson got a 4-year deal out of the Ravens.
I know. That's what I'm thinking.
You have Cincinnati that was, just messing around with his money. They end up, I believe they gave him a new 1-year deal last year. It wasn't a franchise tag. It was technically a new 1-year deal. And then stuff doesn't work out there. Cincinnati just loses him for nothing. He goes to the Ravens and he gets this 4-year deal where he's 31, I want to say, 32, somewhere around there. And he gets a 4-year deal, which at the end of it, he's going to be in his mid-30s, which is super old for a pass rusher. And that's why the player that I think one of the winners is Trey Hendrickson.
Yes.
For getting that big bag in the 4-year deal. And one of my losers is the Bengals. I know a lot of people like some of the other moves that they made, but I think they just completely botched the Trey Hendrickson situation. And to lose him for absolutely nothing is just malpractice.
So I have a couple of teams that I really like here. I like what the Panthers were able to do in free agency. They spent a lot of money. They get Jalen Phillips, the best edge out there on the market outside of Trey Hendrickson. They get Rasheed Walker, who's the top-rated offensive tackle on the market. And they also signed Devin Lloyd, right? The linebacker from the Jacksonville Jaguars that had a great season last year. The Carolina Panthers are putting the ball in their quarterback's court.
Yeah.
Like it's put up or shut up time. Like, let's see what's going on. Because their defense, they got guys on their defense. They've got some guys on their offense now. I am very, very curious to see what the Carolina Panthers look like. I think they're like, I don't know if people think about the Carolina Panthers. You know what I mean? Like I actively don't know if people think about them, but I think they made a lot of good moves here to make themselves an intriguing team next season.
Well, they made the playoffs and won the NFC South, albeit as an 8-9 team. So I think that is kind of why they're still off the radar despite making the playoffs last year. But I mean, that division is so bad. I think they've put themselves in prime position to go ahead and repeat.
And I would put the Tennessee Titans in a similar spot. The Titans were obviously much, much worse than Carolina was this last year. But Tennessee made some big-time splashes in free agency. And again, it's okay. Now it's up to the quarterback to take the step in year 2. If Cam Ward can do anything this season and take that step, we saw Caleb Williams obviously take a big step with Chicago. If Cam Ward can do anything similar, the Titans are they're going to be an intriguing team because I don't know how much better the AFC South got in the first week of free agency here. Like the Jaguars lost some guys. The Texans, I don't know what to think of the Texans. And then the Colts, for me, the Colts are a loser as well because you pay big money to a quarterback coming off an Achilles and you give Alec Pierce wide receiver 1 money. I'm not so sure about that. Tennessee bolsters its defense with these moves. They obviously get Wan'Dale Robinson, to help out Cam Ward. That's a team that I could see making a jump.
All right, someone that I wanted to get to. You guys remember the Clemson running back that played with Trevor Lawrence? What is his name?
Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne, or so we thought. He signed a 4-year, $52 million deal with the Saints, so good on him for that. But then he decides to tell us that we've just been mispronouncing his name all along.
So growing up, it's Travis Etienne. So it'd be like Achane. And that's how you always said Travis Etienne. But when I went to college, I kept telling them my name like every day. And like after like 4 weeks, they just couldn't get it. So I'm like, man, it's Etienne. Like how you say it is how you say it. So that's how that became. And it kind of took off because it was easy for the pronouncers to say it. I didn't have to just tell them, I didn't have to correct them every day to say my name. Just when I kind of just started learning more about my last name and how it came about and things like that, it just kind of stuck and made sense. But I'm very much open to being Travis Etienne again, just being myself. I don't have to correct people here on how to say my name each and every day, and I kind of love that. And just get back to me.
This might be like a personality thing, but I couldn't imagine going this long living in the limelight, just letting everybody mispronounce my name.
Well, he won free agency because he got a bag, and now everybody's going to say his name right. And you know the biggest loser here is Devin Achane, because we've got a second Achane in the NFL.
Who gets paid less money.
Yeah.
Unless he hits free agency here soon. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was this like lightly recruited dude who went to some small school and then just jumped on the scene.
Yeah, it's not a 5th round pick from Alabama A&M, right?
He was like on one of those better Dabo Sweeney Clemson teams. I don't know if he won a national championship or not. I believe he did. I just find it shocking that you're just going to go that many years at a program like Clemson and that many years in the NFL until you finally are like, you know what? You're pronouncing my name wrong.
And isn't it funny, too, like his brother is now on the Carolina Panthers. He played for Florida last year.
That's a great point.
Oh, yeah, that's
Trevor,
right. Yes.
So now we have 3 Achane running backs.
How is it possible that now Trevor Etienne went, I believe he played at Florida, correct?
Yes.
And we were pronouncing his name wrong, too, because his older brother never corrected anyone?
Yeah.
Like, how is that possible?
I believe he played at Florida and then he transferred to Georgia. Isn't that what he did?
Do we have the opposite here? I can't remember what happened with Trevor. I'm sorry.
I feel like I got to look it up.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Trevor Etienne was on Florida and Georgia.
Okay, I forgot about the Georgia chapter.
And they have a younger brother.
Oh boy, where is he?
No, this is saying he is the younger brother.
Okay,
of I got way too excited, way too fast. So yes, we have 2 not ETNs in the NFL, but now 3 Achans.
Do we have time to pose one more winner of free agency here that nobody's talking about? Are the Raiders winners of free agency?
Yes, they are.
Like everybody, like I was looking at an NFL.com article and they had the Raiders as the #1 loser of free agency and Max Crosby as the #2 loser of free agency. The Raiders signed all these guys and they got Max Crosby back. And a Max Crosby is probably going to be pretty darn hungry.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It seems like he's going to be staying with the Raiders now.
They got to keep it. They could be good. They got a new quarterback coming in. They made a bunch of changes on defense. They signed Tyler Linderbaum, the best center available. That's a ton of money to give a center, but still.
They grabbed the Nakobe Dean from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Former #1 overall pick, Quay Walker, which is crazy to say, but he was the #1 overall pick years ago.
No, he wasn't.
Quay Walker for the Jaguars?
No, you're thinking of Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker. But still, Jalen Naylor had another piece out there. Kwity Paye, former Michigan Wolverine. I mean, they added some dudes.
Yes, they added pieces, and they have the #1 overall pick. I mean, the Raiders, listen, they're the Raiders, but I wouldn't call them a loser by any means.
So according to the ratings, there are a bunch of people watching the World Baseball Classic. We'll find out which one of us are watching the WBC next on a Fan Sports Sunday.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Coffee, iced cap, refreshers. Tim Hortons has all your favorite beverages. And now you can get your favorite bite for less. When you buy any size beverage, add a baked daily donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. So next time you order your favorite Tim's beverage, add something that satisfies your cravings and your wallet. The $1, $2, $3 menu. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts and spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Disaster strike, fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. Direct Relief delivers. No politics, no red tape. Direct Relief is a lifeline to people in crisis. So check them out at directrelief.org. And if you can, donate.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You know, spring cleaning is a thing that happens in the spring. Go figure, it's in the name. But as you're getting rid of some stuff in your house that you no longer need, doesn't work right, or you never should have had in the first place, why don't you add your windows to that list? Yeah, your windows may have bad insulation. That's why they let in the cold air in the winter and the warm air in the summer. Makes your home less energy efficient. It's costing you money every single month. With Window Nation, you get high-quality, energy-efficient products at a great price. All of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty, and right now is a great time to upgrade. The more you buy, the more you save in March. Up to 50% off all window styles from Window Nation. Plus, there's great financing options, including $0 down, 0% interest for 60 months, and payments as little as $199 a month. The first step is getting a consultation with Window Nation so they can find the problem areas in your house. I'm going to guess they're near the windows. So schedule that consultation for free today at windownation.com. Once again, that's windownation.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
It's sports conversation, but with a drink and umbrella as a garnish. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, I could try to just sweep this under the rug, but I consider myself an honest man. We got a break behind, and I did not realize that this is the break that I asked Tyler Danburg to call in. I teased World Baseball Classic, but I wanted to talk about all things going around on campus with Tyler Danburg. So, Tyler, not to put you on the spot, but have you been watching the World Baseball Classic before we get into all things OSU sports?
Dylan, thank you so much for having me. Absolutely. I mean, how could you not? As a Guardians fan, I'm so intrigued by Brian Rocchio, Columbus Clippers legend, by the way, getting added to the Team Italy roster to face Venezuela. Rocchio hailing from Venezuela. The storylines are unreal. I saw for the DR USA game, I think there's going to be a combined like 52 Gold Gloves, over 100 All-Star appearances, just between the two rosters combined. It's so much fun.
I can always count on you to be more prepared than I am. If you're interested in what Team USA is doing, they're playing today at 8 o'clock, they're playing the Dominican Republic in the semifinal. And then obviously the winner will go on to the final of the WBC. But you are the voice of Ohio State women's basketball. So I want to start there. They're going to get a top 16 overall seed in the NCAA tournament and will host first and second round games for the fourth straight year. For people that are maybe haven't been paying attention to this women's hoops team, what are you getting with these Lady Buckeyes?
You're getting 40 minutes of pure, hard-fought basketball. I think the best way to describe this Ohio State team, Dylan, 26-7 on the year, 13-5 in what's been maybe the deepest year of the Big Ten. They're never out of a game. I mean, they make 10-point deficits look like a team's trailing by 5. And that's because of their style of basketball. They play a full-court press style of basketball under the 13 years of Kevin McGuff. That's where they're nationally renowned. Everybody knows Ohio State. If you've been following women's college basketball, you know Ohio State as the full-court pressing team, up-tempo type of basketball, and it's a really fun group. I mean, what Jelani Cambridge is doing this year, absolutely sensational. She's one of 4 players in the country to average 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. She's made or assisted on over 43% of the team's made baskets this year, and she's got a really good cast around her, too. Her older sister, Kennedy, set the single-season steals record at Ohio State. The eldest player on the team is senior Chance Gray, who just has improved every single game. And she really is one of the heartbeats of the team. And then they have a true center in 6'6" Elsa Lemula, who's been a great rebounding presence. She's got a good feel around the basket as well. And it really is a Buckeye starting 5 that fans can really get excited about, and really a team that, fans should really continue to follow because they love each other. I mean, they have a really, really great time playing together, and it's just a fun group to follow. So we'll see what they can do in March.
All right, Tyler, you said it there. What can these Buckeyes do in March? This is perennially one of the best teams in the country, but we're talking NCAA women's basketball, so there are perennial powers out there. What are the Buckeyes going to have to get through in the tournament if they want to win?
Dylan, I think it's to play as close to 40 full minutes of basketball as possible. I think we've seen some games where the Buckeyes play 30 incredible minutes of basketball, but it's that one quarter that maybe puts them behind and they play behind for the rest of the game. And I think that's what slows them down, like that UCLA game in the Big Ten semifinals. And then rebounding is another thing. I think one thing that we learned from the Buckeyes in the Big Ten tournament is that they really have rebounded incredibly well. They've improved in that category. I mean, they took UCLA to the final minutes in the Big Ten semifinals. UCLA, one of the tallest teams in the country, second in the country in rebound margin, and it was a narrow 34-34 on the glass. Good teams rebound in March, and that's what the Buckeyes are certainly going to have to do to try and make it to the second weekend and beyond of the NCAA tournament for the second time in the last now 33 years.
So for the hockey fans out there, I want to move to the ice. The men's, they had a big upset against Michigan State to make the Big Ten final. And Dylan, I want to get your take on this too, as a resident hockey expert as well. Do we think the Buckeyes can pull off another upset and beat Michigan and head to the NCAA tournament on the ice?
Well, it's do or die for Ohio State. I mean, you can make the argument. I don't even know if it's an argument, but they have a lot more to play for in this game than Michigan because, the Wolverines are already locking up an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament without an absolute doubt. So I think Ohio State definitely playing with house money. It's so interesting, guys, too. I mean, 2022, the Buckeyes had that really good squad, and they had an early exit in the Big Ten tournament falling to Penn State where they could have made it around the Big Ten tournament and beyond. And really since then, Steve Rollick's team, they've just gotten hot in the postseason, whether they're a top 25 program, whether they're on the other side of the top 25 and maybe towards the bottom of the 7-school Big Ten. They just find a way to get hot in the postseason. And for some reason, they've had Michigan State's number this year now, 3-1-1. And but I think if they have what it takes, it's going to depend on Christopher Everly, the goaltender. I mean, a big, imposing frame in the cage, models his game after the great Connor Hellebuck. an American legend now after his performance in the Olympics, but just one of those big-framed goaltenders. Really, impressed by him not being phased after surrendering that goal early on to MSU about 2.5 minutes into the game yesterday, and then he really locked things in. I think he stopped his last 33 shots that he faced. Really impressive stuff.
And I think the single elimination format in the Big Ten tournament really benefits the Buckeyes in their style of play. And we're seeing that. So we'll see what happens in the final against Michigan. Tyler, I love talking Ohio State baseball with you. And I know you're about set to call more games over there at Bill Davis Stadium. The the Buckeyes are in their Big Ten slate right now. They lost in extras last night to Washington. What is getting you excited about Buckeye baseball?
It's the fight, Dylan. I mean, they just haven't really been out of many games. The big key for them is the bullpen. Like that Kent State game that we got the call on Tuesday, they had a 5-3 lead in the 9th inning, and they weren't able to hold on. Kent State, a really good club. But I think what excites me is just the ceiling and the capability of what this team can do. And you saw it Friday night. I mean, They had a lead. They had a 5-run lead. They lost it, but they came back, and they were never fazed by it. And Lee Ellis the shortstop made an excellent diving play at short to send the game to extras. And then what does he do? He hits a solo homer next half inning in the top of the 10th. They hang on to win that ball game 5-4. And then, last night it didn't go in their direction, but they're playing incredibly tight games. I mean, remember, this is a team that started off 0-13 in Big Ten play last year, and it takes them just 4 games into the conference slate to get a Big Ten victory. It's a slow process in college baseball, as you know, sometimes, but I think Justin Hare and his staff, they certainly know and have what it takes to get this program back to where it's going to be. So really excited to keep following along, and can't wait till we're back on the air April 3rd for the first of 3 games against Maryland.
We're up against it, but I wanted to mention the Ohio State women's hockey team advancing to the Frozen Four for the 6th straight year as they beat Yale 6-1 in the regional final yesterday. Will this team win the national championship?
I really do think so. I think they've proven it. They've welcomed in top 3 teams all year long, and have been able to withstand that Olympic break as well, and swept number 2 Minnesota in that time frame when you've got Joy Dunn and company in Milan Cortina. So if they can get through that tough stretch, I think they can really get through anything, guys.
All right, Tyler, thanks for joining us and giving us the scoop on all things Ohio State.
Appreciate you guys having me.
All right, Dylan, what do you think? Do you think this women's team is going to win the national championship?
So, I mean, it's going to come down to them in Wisconsin like it does every year. The Buckeye ladies were robbed of the national championship last year. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it. It's a lot to explain and describe. But they've had some really good battles with Wisconsin this year. We'll see what happens. Like, these teams just always play each other so tough. They're the cream of the crop in women's college hockey. Ohio State, Wisconsin. Feels like it comes down to them every single season. You got Olympians on both sides of the ice. I think the Buckeyes are due based off of what happened last year. Bad taste in their mouth. So give me another Ohio State national title.
All right, we're going to stay on campus as Ohio State had their first week of spring practice. What are you guys looking forward to with the Buckeyes this season? That's coming up next on a Fan Sports Sunday.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. Get Eco.
ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year, or we'll clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Go to geteco.com.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
It all connects. The girl who walks for hours to bring home the family's water, the school she can't attend most days, her little brother's belly laugh, her dreams of being a teacher, an engineer, the mayor. It all connects. But at Child Fund, so do we, through everything we do, so every child can grow up healthy, educated, and safe. Because we need each other. Learn more at childfund.org.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Score big at Germain Toyota of Columbus and drive home in the 2026 Toyota Tundra for 2.99% APR for up to 72 months and $1,000 in Toyota financial cash. Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
We got a higher home appraisal after we put away our African art and family photos.
Has this happened to you because of race or national origin? Contact HUD at hud.gov/fair housing. A message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Remember the old days when football used to have an off-season? Well, we at the Fan think that really sucked. That's why we bring you Austin and Berm, America's #1 resource for Buckeye football conversation, is voted by Fake Surveys Incorporated. Catch their daily podcast called The Beat and their breaking news podcast, Snap Judgments, as they broadcast live from Roosters on Mondays, and they come right to your house and massage your tender areas. They'll do it all. Austin and Berm on the Fan's YouTube channel and 10 TV+.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Yesterday, Kirill Marchenko scored his 25th goal in the third round of a shootout to give the Columbus Blue Jackets a 2-1 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers. The Jackets extended their point streak to 9 games as they fight Detroit for the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Up next for the Jackets, they host Carolina on Tuesday night. In the NBA, after missing the first 67 games of the season while recovering from a Jones fracture in his left foot, Max Strus has been upgraded to probable for Cleveland's matchup with the Dallas Mavericks today at 3:30. For the Cavs, Jared Allen and Sam Merrill are out, and Jalen Tyson is questionable. The Columbus Crew in action yesterday. They fell to Nashville 1-0. They host Toronto next Saturday at 1. The men's March Madness brackets will be officially released at 6 p.m. on CBS tonight. The show will also be available for streaming on Paramount+. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are you still in your pajamas? We are. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
So the Ohio State Buckeyes started spring practice this week. I believe that they're going to be going on spring break, so they're going to take a week off before they continue spring ball, and then ultimately ending April 18th at the spring game. Are you guys spring game attendees? Do you guys like going to the spring game?
No, because the Blue Jackets always play the same day as the spring game. Even if they didn't, I don't think I would be a spring game guy. It's fun, like when you're at Ohio State. It kind of has that game day feel. You get up with the buddies, maybe play a few drinking games, a little beer pong. That's fun, but no.
How about
For me,
Isaiah?
I used to go pretty routinely because they used to have the Ohio State lacrosse team that would play before the actual spring game. As you know, I'm a big lacrosse guy, so
Right.
I would go for the double. But now, ever since they stopped doing that, I have not been to a spring game since.
So I want to get into what you guys are looking forward to this season. I feel like for a lot of people, and I find this kind of weird, do you guys feel like there's some Julian Sayin slander going on? I'm not saying it's the majority of the fans, but maybe a loud minority.
So that's where I wanted to go with this. When you kind of teased going into the break, what are you most excited to see? I don't necessarily know if there is Julian Sayin slander, but I think the way last season ended for Ohio State, maybe there is just a forgetfulness of what Julian Sayin was for much of the season. I think Julian Sayin absolutely explodes this year. Like, I was watching at points of last season thinking, what does year 2 or year 3 of Julian Sayin as a starter looks like? I think that's an NFL caliber quarterback lighting up college defenses. Like, completely honestly, the accuracy, the poise under pressure. What are we talking about here? Like, this guy could have an all-time season at Ohio State this year.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith's back.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think the way the season ended is leaving a sour taste in people's mouths. And I know a lot of people don't like when I say this, but this Ohio State fan base is one of the most ungrateful, spoiled fan bases in the entire country. And the fact that people are doubting Julian Sayin and his ability in any way is just mind-boggling to me. One of the things that people do want to see more of Julian Sayin, though, is his ability to run the football. And he was asked if he's comfortable using his legs.
Yeah, I think I'm very comfortable with just having that clock in my head, knowing when to this ball needs to get out or nothing's there, you got to take off. So I think I'm still improving that, but I think I'm very comfortable in that aspect of having that internal clock in my head, knowing when the pocket's breaking down.
And then he later had a little bit more to say on that.
I've done a lot of stuff with Coach Mick this offseason, and getting stronger, getting more powerful, and being able to run through tackles and things like that. That's definitely been a focus of our offseason. So I'm looking forward to improving that this spring.
So to me, the easy comp for Julian Sayin all along has been C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, thank you.
And
thank you.
C.J. Stroud kind of had this. He gave the fan base the same frustration where it was like, man, this guy's C.J. Stroud ended up being number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft. Obviously had a great career here at Ohio State despite his lack of success against the team up north. One of the best pure passers in Ohio State history, and I think Julian Sayin is built in that same ilk. I also think that Julian does have the same running ability or similar to C.J. Stroud, and we waited C.J. Stroud's whole career before we finally saw what he could do with his legs against Georgia.
Yeah, his last game.
And that kind of added to people's frustration, like, man, this is what you could have been doing this whole time you were at Ohio State. I don't know. I guess him scrambling would help. It's not really like designed runs that I'm looking for with him. It's more like, hey, it's 3rd and 4. Instead of taking that shot with Jeremiah Smith, won't you just gain 5 yards, run out of bounds, and let's move the chains?
I do not care. I do not care. Do not care. If you can move the ball the entire season the way that Ohio State moves the ball, that's fine. When it comes down to the college football playoff, look at what Carson Beck did against Ohio State. Carson Beck can't throw. He stinks. What did he do in that game? He tucked it at opportune times and picked up some first downs. That's all you're looking for out of Julian Sayin, right? And I think in the modern game, that's basic quarterback play.
Right.
That's basic quarterback play. He didn't have to do it all season at Ohio State. Like, that's what we're talking about here. He did not have to do it for the entirety of the regular season. So why would you? He didn't have to. Like, I can count on my hand, I think, the number of times Julian Sayin tucked and ran during the regular season for Ohio State and picked up meaningful yardage. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean,
it is basic quarterback play in the modern game. I will say that. He has to be able to do it and identify that in big situations.
I think what people would argue is that he had a lot of his success against a lot lesser competition, and then when they got to those bigger games, his ability to move would have helped them against Indiana, would have helped them against Miami, and that's why the fan base wants to see more of that.
Sure, but Ohio State did plenty of other things in those games that wasn't good that put them in that spot.
Right, you're absolutely right.
Like a normal running game, an average running game, period.
That brings me to the next thing that I'm looking forward to. So they gave out numbers earlier this week, and Legend Bay got the number 2, which I feel like is the most coveted number for this program. So the fact that a true freshman is getting it, and he got recruited as an athlete. We got the injuries with the starting with the top 2 running backs, we're presuming, with Isaiah West and Bo Jackson. I think Legend Bay could play a lot of running back this season. You're going to see him in the slot a lot. You're going to see him everywhere. But here's what Ryan Day had to say about Legend Bay.
We'll have to see. Just day one out there, he started running back. He played quarterback in high school, so he has a tremendous skill set, and he's dynamic when the ball's in his hands. We see him as somebody that can play running back and also move out to wide receiver. Sort of like, I wasn't here with Curtis Samuel, but I watched a lot of film when he was here. He kind of reminds me of that style of player. Remember when Xavier Johnson was here, he could play running back or move out to wide receiver. I think we're trying to get a feel for that now because really he played a lot of quarterback in high school, so we're trying to see what best fits him when he gets moving. So today was just a start. You can see him flash, but he's got a lot of football to learn. But it was good to get these guys out here, 51 new faces, so we got a lot of film to watch and get to work on.
That quote got me fired up about Legend Bay. To be compared to Curtis Samuel and Xavier Johnson, who's probably one of the fastest players we've seen in the past few years, and there's been a lot of them for Ohio State, the combination of him getting number 2 this week, the running back health situation, and then along with, okay, we have Jeremiah Smith as your number 1 wide receiver, but are we sure Chris Henry Jr. is going to just come in and be a bona fide wide receiver as a true freshman? Are we sure Brandon Ennis is going to take a next step? And you know, they had like Devin McCune in the transfer portal. I think both the positions of running back and wide receiver are not as steady as we'd like it to be. And you could see a true freshman in Legend Bay kind of solidify himself on this team.
All right, let's go easy with the number 2 thing because we're talking Curtis Samuel. He went off in 2016 wearing the number 4. Dontre Wilson was number 2 on that team. So a little bit of a disappointment, I would say, at Ohio State.
That is true.
Was Dontre Wilson. But with all this being said, I'm with you. I'm in the same camp. Like, I hear Ryan Day talk about Legend Bay the way he is talking about him. I think Ryan Day is a careful guy when it comes to the hyperbole and forecasting the future for these players. And the way he's talking about a true freshman right now is extremely exciting. I think that says a lot about Legend Bay. So we'll see. Like, you get the fans get their first little taste of these guys in the spring game. So sure, I'll be excited about the spring game for that purpose to see, all right, who's kind of in a role right now, who's stepping into these different spots. So that has me fired up. Definitely a nice utility piece for Ohio State to have. And I kind of talked about the modern game in Julian Sayin. I think the modern game requires a player like this that can kind of be used in the slot, in the backfield. Certainly a nice piece to have for OSU.
And Dylan, you talked about...
Which one?
You. You talked about the struggles last year in the run game, and you think about what a player like Legend Bay being able to maybe motion him, using him in the slot as kind of like a running back wide receiver, while having Bo Jackson in the backfield or Isaiah West in the backfield. It kind of takes the strain off of Julian Sayin having to use his legs when the misdirection you can use with some motions. It makes the running game a little bit easier, I think, being able to utilize him as even just a decoy in the backfield, making it easier for Bo Jackson.
And to that point, think about when Ohio State did have Curtis Samuel or when Ohio State did have Paris Campbell. That's how they utilize those guys a lot. The swing passing out of the backfield, the screens like that. I know it was a point of contention sometimes for Ohio State fans, but sure, that passing can kind of be a part of the running game.
So we're going to stick to football. The Big Ten is asking the NCAA to pause tampering inquiries. We'll get into that next on a Fan Sports Sunday.
Big Voice Guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% plus no payments for 90 days on select new Kia Sorentos, Sportages, and Tellurides. Or buy a new 2026 Kia K4 for $279 a month. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
0% APR available for 48 months on select in-stock units. 90-day deferred payments. Buy for $279 per month for 84 months at 5.99% APR with approved credit through Kia Finance. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
The sports book at Hollywood Casino Columbus is the place to be for all the basketball action. Watch every game at once on 2 video walls spanning 50 feet, plus over 30 TVs. Come show off your jump shot in our King of the Court drawings and take home memorabilia from a Cleveland basketball legend. We've also got unbeatable game day food and drinks all season long. Guarantee your spot. Reserve a table with up to $300 in dining credits at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or GLakesHyundai.com. With Proof Credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest accrues during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Can't follow the Buckeyes to the tournament? Adam and Nicole hit the road for all the action.
Sponsored by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Keep it locked on 10 TV, 10 TV Plus, and your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey there, friends. Bill Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co. It's well known. High Bank is my go-to when I want an award-winning whiskey, but did you also know that they make the best vodka in America? They have 3 incredible spots here in Central Ohio where the food is just as good as what's in the glass. They've got something for everyone. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. So whether you're sipping on the best vodka in America or simply grabbing a meal with family and friends, High Bank delivers every time. Find a location and a menu at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny for us today with highs getting into the low 70s and gusty winds, although not as strong as we saw the other day. As we go into tonight, though, we will see rain develop and eventually chances of thunderstorms, some which could be on the stronger side, so have ways to get warnings while you sleep. Otherwise, a breezy start and temperatures falling throughout the day on Monday with chances of scattered snow showers as we head into the afternoon. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. You're listening to The Fan. It's Sunday. We're a sports station, and we shall call it Fan Sports Sunday.
Yes, the most creative name of all the shows here on The Fan. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday. Wanted to get into this letter the Big Ten sent to the NCAA this week, essentially asking them to stop investigating infractions on tampering when it comes to the transfer portal. This just screams to me that they believe that you must tamper to have any chance in the portal. So it's like, please do not punish us for doing what everyone needs to do.
There's literally a quote in that article that says exactly that. It says, to compete in modern college football, you have to tamper. Like, it's unfair to not tamper, which is, I brought up the point earlier, our sports ethical? You have to cheat to be successful in college football nowadays.
Yeah, the letter states that the current framework for tampering rules, quote, cannot be credibly or equitably enforced. I mean, that's a big part of it, too. It's like the NCAA, I feel like early on in this, they kind of sort of tried. The schools kind of sort of tried to, like, not have the transfer portal just run rampant and try to, give transfer windows and things of that nature. I know there was a player, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, that went from Wisconsin to Miami, and he kind of left outside of the transfer window per se, and the school sued, and the judge decided, like, hey, this is a student trying to go to a new school. You can't stop him. If what this has turned into is the players just are like, would you let a normal student do this? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then a college football player can make the same moves.
The thing for me, it's like where you kind of began there. If the NCAA can't properly, I don't know if I'm using the right word here, officiate this or police this, then it needs to be looked at, obviously. And then if you're saying, well, we have to tamper to be able to compete, of course it has to get looked at.
Right.
Right? Like, both of those things are counterintuitive to the game. It's like, you have to be able to police it, so let's look into this. And you have to do it to be able to be successful now. So what are we really talking about? And that the fact that you brought up, rules versus I almost said an actual student, but we'll call them like a civilian student of the school.
A non-student athlete.
Yeah, a non-student athlete and a student athlete. I'm always in the same camp as you, where it's like, shouldn't those people be equal in the rules that they have at their schools? Like, I thought the sports gambling thing, that was kind of my argument. We were talking about that kind of at this point last summer, college athletes being allowed to gamble on sports. I was like, well, if you're of age and you're a student at that college that's not playing sports and you're allowed to gamble on sports, why wouldn't a student athlete be able to gamble on sports? I'm making a bad argument here, but
well, I feel like this was the reason for that college sports commission or whatever the hell that was at the White House.
Oh, with no student athlete representation.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like you have the president there, obviously, and then you have coaches like Urban Meyer and Nick Saban, and sure, they deserve a seat at the table, I guess. And then you have random people like Tiger Woods showing up there. I don't even think he spoke. And then you don't even have any current student athletes, or mainly this, let's just be frank, this is really affecting the college football players and the men's basketball players the most. Like, I feel like someone like Jeremiah Smith would have been like the perfect person to ask to attend something like that. He's been making NIL since the second he could. And I just think that they should have had student athlete representation there. And until you're ready to have that conversation and include them, that meeting was just for naught. That was just a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Well, 100%, because it's going to take both parties. I'll call party A the adults and party B the kids, the student athletes. It's going to take them getting together to figure all this out, right? Because the way that college football used to work and college sports in general used to work was the adults were in charge, and that's who was benefiting, right? The student athletes weren't getting any money other than the scholarships, and all the money from college athletics was going to the adults. Well, the student athletes began to get more of a say, and that's how they're getting a lot of money from college athletics now. And I think the adults are saying, oh man, this is ruining college athletics. How are we going to continue to pay? How are we going to make this work going forward? So let's everybody get in the room, and maybe we can work on this together rather than the adults getting in the room and saying, all right, let's take this back.
Right. It seemed like a very old man get off my lawn type of thing, where you had all these people from speaking to Urban and Saban being there, of an older era of college football that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
We're not playing the same college football when it comes to the off the field stuff that Coach Saban and Coach Meyer were coaching while they were at the height of their powers at Bama and Ohio State and LSU and Florida as well. I also saw something here where it's basically the NCAA, it seems like they're trying to say that they're trying to put an emphasis on this stuff, but they had quoted a SEC GM in this article. It was an anonymous one that said, if you're not doing that when it comes to tampering, you're so far behind in the game.
Right.
Everyone feels like they have to tamper, and now the Big Ten, I feel like, is kind of getting scared because they're like, well, everyone's doing it, so then it should be cool.
Yeah, everybody's doing it, so we don't want our programs to get in trouble for doing it.
So, like, what they're also asking to do is for them to change the rules on this kind of stuff.
What all of this begs is for everybody to get into a room and overhaul college football.
Yeah, and I mean, and another name for that, collective bargaining.
Right.
I mean, and like they don't want to say that these players are employees of the university, and it's crazy that it's like it's time for the kids, quote unquote, to get their cut. They haven't been this whole time. And I understand people that are arguing that this isn't what NIL was supposed to be. Like when I first heard of NIL, I thought, oh, a player like Julian Sayin can go to the Buckeye corner and sign autographs and not get in trouble. Or Jeremiah Smith can get a Chipotle endorsement, which I'm pretty sure he has had. I know a lot of Ohio State football players have had. And it was like stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they have this big name based off of what they're doing on the field. Let's give them the ability to make money off their own name. And one of the things that Urban Meyer said was that he thinks like the collectives should be considered illegal. I'm not totally against him saying that. The collectives just essentially giving players money for their playing ability. That's not what the fabric of college football is about. I see both sides of the argument. I guess what the players are at now, it's like, okay, now it's time to get our piece of the pie, the same piece of the pie that like the TV people get.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm like, if they were to just do endorsements only and not get money from the collectives, it's a far cry from what they were getting before, which was absolutely nothing.
Yes. And that is how I thought about NIL when it all began as well, rather than I'm saying I thought about it the same way as you, right, where, hey, instead of Honda having banners at Ohio Stadium with Mike Weber on it and Curtis Samuel on it and JT Barrett on it and that sponsorship money going to Ohio State, hey, if they're going to use these guys' pictures on these banners, those football players are going to get a cut of it. It's not, okay, we're going to create this organization that essentially has a slush fund to pay football players to play at Ohio State. That's different. That's different. And that's what I mean, where I know people are a little bit scared of the phrase collective bargaining, but I think that's where it has to end up, right?
Yeah.
I really do, to create a better landscape for, again, the adults and the kids.
Yeah, I think it's either that or like what they're like President Trump saying that he's going to, put sort of some type of injunction to fix this, which I feel like they've tried to do before. And I feel like it's going to end up getting challenged in court, even if it does go through. And then the NCAA is just famous for taking L's in court. So I feel like this would be another case where people try to, quote unquote, fix college football and it just falls on its face in the court because the court seems to always be in favor of the players, A, making money, and B, moving freely, like I mentioned, as if they were any regular college student.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there does need to be a quote unquote fix for college football, but I'm going to be honest with you, I am not smart enough to know what that answer is.
Right. It takes people that are professionals in this, agents, people that manage these leagues, commissioners, the players. It takes a little bit of everyone, and it's not you and me, I'll tell you that.
And I think it would have been a little bit easier, too, if we didn't go from 0 to 100.
Yes.
If they would have just kind of eased it and even started with maybe we'll just start with the endorsements, and you're not actually telling players, hey, if you come here, you're going to get $6 million. Hey, if you're coming here, there's a lot of opportunities for sponsorships, and I think we could definitely get some money in your pocket. That would be a lot better place to start. Instead, we went from 0 to 100, and they're getting millions and millions of dollars. It's hard to put a cap back on it now, which is, I think we all know, is what needs to happen. But how do you put the toothpaste back in the tube? That's the hard part.
Right, and that's the overarching theme that we're really talking about here is I think there needs to be stronger leadership. There wasn't when NIL started, so it became the Wild West really quickly, and it became who could pay the most for these players. And like you said, I think it's going to be hard to go back because here we are.
So it's a big holiday weekend when it comes to people going out and celebrating, and St. Patrick's Day weekend. We're going to break down each of our top 3 favorite holidays to celebrate in 2 minutes on a Fan Sports Sunday.
Nobody celebrates St. Patty's Day quite like Skyline. Come enjoy your favorite 3, 4, or 5-way made with green noodles. It's a tasty tradition that happens once a year, and March 17th is the day. Come and get your green ways at participating Skyline locations.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
I take care of the kids, my dad, things at work, but I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. Go to mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Coffee? These guys don't need coffee. They're jacked on life. And Buckeye football. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
So it's St. Patrick's Day officially on Tuesday, but this is obviously the closest weekend to that, and I feel like when most people celebrate St. Patrick's Day is during the weekend because it is a very popular drinking holiday. But that made me think, what are the top 3 best holidays to celebrate? So I want to start with you, Dylan, then we'll go to Isaiah, and then we'll come back to me. Your top 3 favorite holidays to celebrate.
My top 3 favorite holidays. I will give an honorable mention to St. Patrick's Day in Chicago. That is a very fun time. I've done that before. Should I go 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, let's do it like that.
All right, 3, I will go with Independence Day, the 4th of July, I think is always fun. You get out there for the summer, you play a little golf, you grill, have some beers, enjoy the heat. That's always fun. Maybe a little baseball on the 4th of July, America's pastime. 2, I will go Christmas for all the obvious reasons. Getting together with family, the gifts, the cold weather, being cozy, maybe watching a Christmas movie, good food. Not a fan of Christmas Day football necessarily, which is the reason I love the next holiday. Thanksgiving is my 1-1. I love just autumn. I love getting together with family, eating all the food, and sign me up for Thanksgiving football. Absolutely love it.
Isaiah, what about you?
For me, I'm going to go ahead and give an honorable mention to July 4th. I love the middle of the summertime. It would have made my top 3, but the summer is so much fun for me that a lot of the weekends feel similar to July 4th.
Okay, sick brag. You have a fun summer.
No, I mean,
dude.
I like going to the pool on July 4th, and on other weekends I go to the pool and do sometimes indulge in hot dogs and the great things. So that would probably find my number 4 spot. The number 3 spot for me, just above, is Memorial Day weekend. And it's very specific for me because I always go to the Indianapolis 500. So it's a fun weekend for me to go out there, go experience Indy. It's one of my favorite. I'm not a big racing guy, but it's one of the coolest events I've ever been to. I lived in Indy for a while, so I love the 500. Number 2 for me, also Christmas. I don't know if I need to expand on why Christmas is so great. It's a fantastic holiday. Number 1, and I said this year, and this year it jumped Christmas. Thanksgiving did. And I wanted to remember, and I told my fiance, I said, don't let me forget how much I love this week because of the Ohio State-Michigan game. I told her, I said, this is my favorite week of the year because the first half of the week, all I'm thinking about is Thanksgiving, and then we're talking Buckeye football, the biggest game of the year. Thanksgiving comes on Thursday. You have those couple of days off. Friday, you're ready for the big game, prepping for Saturday. And then obviously Ohio State-Michigan this year was good.
I find it very interesting that both of you had Thanksgiving as your number 1. I'm going to reverse mine because Thanksgiving is also my number 1, but I thought that was like a hot take. I thought I was coming in here with a hot take.
So for some people it is, but I feel like the older you get, the better Thanksgiving is. There's just something about the hustle and bustle of Christmas that Christmas is fleeting. Thanksgiving, you really get to be where your feet are, enjoy it, spend time with family. And you're right, Isaiah, that was a great thing to bring up. We here in Columbus have an added bonus the week of Thanksgiving that we get that Michigan game every year. That's just a cherry on top. So great point.
All right, so for me, and I feel like I'm kind of getting known for this, Thanksgiving is also my favorite because it's everything Christmas is without all the bull crap.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
That it's just I have a 7-year-old. I don't mind getting her gifts, but it's like everyone wants to talk about like Christmas spirit and all this stuff. It's like, how about you just be nice the whole year?
Dylan hates his daughter. Write that down.
I don't mind getting your gifts. I mean, I guess I'll get her some gifts this year.
Let's everybody remember that. Dylan hates Christmas because he doesn't like buying his daughter gifts. Gianna, if you're listening, I'm so sorry.
I don't think anyone actually. You know what? People do like being gift givers. She also is spoiled year round. So Christmas and her birthday is really not anything to write home about.
Elite spin zone by you. Back to dad of the year. I spoil her year round. Every day is Christmas. Well done.
Yeah, she and how do I want to phrase this for the parents potentially listening to their kids at home? Santa is banned from the house.
What does that mean?
There's no mention of Santa. I do not allow Santa to bring her gifts. We block the chimney. We lock the door. We bar the windows. Santa is not allowed in the Gonzalez household.
Does she know who Santa is?
She knows who Santa is.
So what's the explanation? Why doesn't Santa come to your house?
Because I bought her the gifts. I want the credit for buying her the gifts.
You called Santa and said you got it already.
It's all good, Santa. You sprinkle a little more to the neighbors.
That is what you tell her. You say, listen, Gianna, Santa really wanted to bring you gifts this year. He loves you. You're such a good girl. But I thought it would be best for us both. I'll handle all the gifts he would have gotten you. We're going to let other kids have more. That's like a double down dad of the year.
Yeah, she's 7, so I it's already too late for me to handle it like that. Mm-hmm. I basically was like, Santa, who's he?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of him.
Okay.
That's how it, like, she sees him in like movie. I don't block her from watching the Santa Claus movies on Disney Plus or anything like that. She's allowed to
she's allowed to dabble in the Christmas spirit.
Yes.
She can feel it.
And honestly, this is going to shock people. For someone who has that lack of relationship with Santa, easily the most Christmas spirit of any kid I know.
That's awesome.
Despite her lack of a relationship with Santa, but I feel like I went off on a horrible tangent. That's why I like Thanksgiving more than Christmas, is just because you get the food, and then you don't get the gift giving and the Christmas spirit rhetoric. I'm not about that. Maybe I'm a Grinch. I don't know.
One more idea here. Like, every kid gets to a certain age and the miracle of Christmas goes away.
Right.
That's why Christmas isn't as good anymore, right? Because it's like, it's not as special. Maybe one year, maybe like her last year, maybe you get a gauge of when her last year is, and then you're like, hey, Santa stopped by this year. And maybe that's when you go all out, and it's just like she gets everything.
Way more gifts that year. Now you're getting double gifts.
Then that just makes me look like a liar, and I'm not about that. Number 2 on my list is St. Patrick's Day. And we were talking about this earlier. I don't really go out much anymore, but honestly, in my memory bank of one of the most fun times I've ever had was St. Patrick's Day 2018 in the city of Delaware, of all places. Delaware, underrated,
Ohio.
Yes.
Okay.
Underrated bar scene. And I probably had one of my most favorite holidays, 2018 St. Patrick's Day in Delaware. I feel like that was about the age where me and my friends all started having kids and getting married and all that stuff. It was like one last hurrah before everyone decided to start living the family life, or in my case, didn't decide. It was decided for me, if you catch my drift.
Yes.
Number 3 on my list is July 4th. I'm a big summer guy. The weather's perfect. The food is great. Grilled / barbecue food is my favorite. It's just the easy. It has the best, easiest to make and tastiest ratio. You're not putting in a lot of work on the grill unless you're making a ton of food.
And there's just that little char on it. There's something about it, like a grilled chicken, hot dog out there on the grill, little burger. I'm with you. I love it.
Yeah, and I don't discriminate. I'll just eat everything.
Sure.
Hot dog, cheeseburger, chicken. Just give me brats.
Brats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't even tempt me with a brat.
Or like an Italian sausage, whether you see that as two different things or not. I mean, they taste similar, both great. July 4th, and, we're celebrating the nation's independence.
No mention of New Year's Eve for anyone.
So New Year's Eve comes with a lot of expectations.
Yes.
I pulled a complete veteran move for New Year's Eve because always you're like, man, what do I got to do for New Year's Eve this year? Not sure what I'm going to do for New Year's Eve this year. So a couple of years ago, I hate New Year's Eve. I hate it because you have to come up with plans and there's so much pressure. You got to have the kiss, all that.
Right.
What did I do? I proposed to my wife on New Year's Eve. So we have a reason to celebrate New Year's Eve every year.
Solid.
Nice.
Plan ahead. Veteran move.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like I'm not old, but I'm turning 34 this year. I don't want to have to commit to staying up till midnight. That's a commitment that I don't want to make.
That's old guy talk right there. That is some serious old guy talk right there. New Year's Eve is just so overrated. It sucks. Who cares? Who cares? You can stay up and have beers whenever.
Where do we stand on the following day? New Year's Day, a big day for college football.
I mean, when it comes to that, I guess, but that's the only reason why. Like, watching the Parade of Roses in the Rose Bowl is obviously like a tradition that a lot of people here have, with Ohio State playing in the Rose Bowl a lot. But
I would almost just lump this all into Christmas time. It's all the same thing.
I mean, you could just,
like how we're thinking about Thanksgiving as a week-long thing. This is just Christmas time.
Yes,
New Year's Eve's part of that.
You could just do, like you said, you could just do any of the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day celebrations whenever.
For the same reason Isaiah says 4th of July sucks, because it's like any other weekend in the summer. New Year's Eve is like any other weekend in the winter.
Wait,
also, you're anti-American. You hate this country.
I gave an honorable mention, but one more. Halloween.
I hate Halloween. I hate Halloween. Hate it. Why? It's my wife's favorite holiday. She loves dressing up and having fun with her friends. I hate Halloween. Hate it.
For you.
To make me seem like a completely strict dad again, I let Gianna celebrate Halloween, but it's like a stressful time for me. There was one year that she told me the costume that she wanted in August. So I was like, we're all set for Halloween. Way to go, kid.
No.
Opinions change in 2 months.
She probably had, 5 costume ideas between telling you and actual Halloween?
The day before, I was like, you're all set to wear this costume? And she said, nope.
Yep.
I don't want to wear. So I went from overly prepared to trying to get a costume on October 30th, which, if you've ever tried to do that before, don't recommend it at all. It's just not the move. All right, coming up next, we'll have Nicole Sheeran from 10 TV join us on a Fan Sports Sunday.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong?
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Thumping and bumping and jumping.
What is?
But it's not pumping.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry?
Yeah, Aaron.
Are we talking about your sump pump?
Yeah. Isn't it great?
Isn't what great?
I like the sound of it. Sump pump. Sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, can you keep a secret?
Aaron, I'm as silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
I kind of like to say it too.
Hey, I should invent a sump pump that lets you know when it's working.
How would it do that?
It would say, sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
That's a great idea, Jerry, but a sump pump should be exactly like you.
How so?
As silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Ah, college. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of The Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's get more for money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
The sports book at Hollywood Casino Columbus is the place to be for all the basketball action. Watch every game at once on 2 video walls spanning 50 feet, plus over 30 TVs. Come show off your jump shot in our King of the Court drawings and take home memorabilia from a Cleveland basketball legend. We've also got unbeatable game day food and drinks all season long. Guarantee your spot. Reserve a table with up to $300 in dining credits at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Take the Fan with you wherever you go with the Fan app. Download it now, or we'll find you. You bring your lunch money today? Good, give it to us. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Selection Sunday is here. Download the free 10 TV Plus app now and tune in tonight at 10:45 as Adam King and Nicole Sheeran and guests will be breaking down the bracket as each region gets revealed. Chasing the Championship is sponsored by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And one of those people that I just mentioned is on the phone now. Nicole Sheeran joins us. Good afternoon, Nicole. What can we look forward to with this chase to the championship? And can you tell us who some of these guests will be?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on, first of all. But it's Selection Sunday. It feels like Christmas morning. It's the best day of the year. And our show, we are going to be on from 5:45 to 6:30 on 10 TV Plus. We're going to have me, Adam King, Timmy Hall will be joining, Jacob Reimer, Beam. So we're going to have the whole squad rolling up. We're going to, of course, chat about where we think the Buckeyes are going to land, some of our predictions before, of course, we actually know where they're going to be going. So everybody tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Nicole, we got to talk about OSU hoops. We actually had Reimer on our program a little bit earlier, and he said he believes Ohio State could make a little bit of noise. What do you think for the Buckeyes and their prospects in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, guys. I think Ohio State is playing some of their best basketball right now from the way they've looked against Purdue, Indiana, in the Big Ten tournament, going toe-to-toe with a number one team in Michigan, only losing by 4. I think this is the time of year where we need to see them play their best ball, and that's what they're doing. Now, in terms of where they land and where they're going to go, none of us really know, right? But I do feel pretty confident that they're going to be an 8 seed. Last night I had said I think they're going to go to Tampa, but now I'm leaning more towards Greenville, and if they win that first game, facing off with number 1 Duke, which I think would be a really fun matchup. And honestly, I think out of all the ones, I would pick Duke for Ohio State purely from a matchup standpoint. But I will say, in terms of Ohio State making a run, in my eyes, if I want to pinpoint one guy who needs to be on, it's Amari Bynum. Because when you look at Ohio State's schedule and the games they've played throughout the year, when Amari, Devin Royal, Bruce Thornton, John Mobley Jr. are all in double figures, the Buckeyes are winning those big-time basketball games. But then you look at the Michigan game, Amari only had 5 points. If he is in double figures or even has a few more points on the board, they win that basketball game. So he's a huge playmaker for them. He's defensively a huge playmaker, offensively, of course. So in my opinion, if Amari's on his game as well as all the other dudes that I just listed, Ohio State could be a scary team in the tournament.
So I want to switch to the gridiron. I saw you were covering spring practice for the Buckeyes today, and you got your journalism hat on and asked Julian Sayin about his mustache. So can you give us an update on Julian Sayin's mustache?
Yeah.
And what do you think about Julian Sayin coming up this season?
Yeah, so y'all, I had to ask. It was funny because it was the last question of the press conference, and nobody asked it. So I was like, you know what? I got to ask him. He said it's probably not permanent. He said Austin Saraveld and Luke Montgomery were kind of like, hey, you should try to grow it out. Why not? And so he went for it. But, I mean, guys, it makes him look way older. You know, people have called him the babyface assassin. Now he doesn't have that baby face anymore, and you can not only see it, you know, physically where he has facial hair now, but he's playing with an older feel. Like, we've only been to 2 spring practices, but the way his leadership has already grown so much from, I think, what we really saw last season. Of course, he was coming after a guy like Will Howard, who was a major vocal leader. But on the second day of spring practice, before practice, he huddled everybody up. And I can't say the exact words that he used because I'm not allowed to. But essentially, it was the vibe of, if you're a dog, go be a dog. He's screaming. He's saying some stuff. It's just the kind of Julian Sayin that I don't think any of us are really used to seeing, because when we think of Julian, we don't really think of that vocal leader. But he's really trying to channel that this year, especially when you've got 51 new guys on the roster. They're going to be looking to their quarterback to be their leader, especially with the young freshmen coming in here. So I was really shocked, to be honest with you, by how much he has already grown in that leadership role. And I'm excited to see it grow even more throughout the season.
All right, Nicole, we look forward to seeing you on 10 TV Plus tonight at 5:45 for the chase to the championship. Thanks for joining us.
Amazing. Thanks, guys, for having me.
All right, so that was Nicole Sheeran from 10 TV. And like I said, make sure you watch their show, Chase to the Championship, tonight. Some of our coworkers are going to be on there, like Timmy Hall. I almost said Tim May. Maybe Tim May will be on there,
I was
too.
thinking Tim May for some reason, too.
Tim Hall and Beamer and Reimer. So look forward to watching that later. Well, what do you got going on today, Dylan?
Oh, later today. Well, I'm watching the James Bond films right now, so we're probably going to get into one of those movies a little bit later on. I think we've got Spectre up on deck. Might do a little gym session later today, so we'll see about that. And I think I'll have to tune into that World Baseball Classic semifinal. USA taking on the Dominican Republic, and Paul Skeens on the bump.
Yes, that's tonight at 8. Is James Bond a rewatch for you?
Oh, yeah. I've seen all the James Bond movies a number of times. We watched Skyfall yesterday, which might be the best of the Daniel Craig versions of James Bond, but I'm a big James Bond fan.
It's very interesting that you're watching the James Bond movies again, because my girlfriend is a huge fan of the Harry Potter films.
So we did those last month. We rewatch Harry Potter every year.
So we're on the 5th of 8 movies, I believe, right now, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, I find it interesting that you went back and watched James Bond. I'm currently trying to get through Harry Potter. What about you, Isaiah? What are you up to?
You'll be happy to know this, Dylan, that I told you
Which
this.
one?
Gonzalez this time. You'll be happy to know this. I've talked to you about how I've been on and off Game of Thrones. Yes. I like Game of Thrones, but I can only watch it for so long before I have to take a break from it. Right now,
low-key crazy. It's like the most bingeable show ever.
Yes. I know, but I'm back on it right now, so I've been binging it like every night. So what my game plan for today is, I'll hate watch this Michigan-Purdue game because I hate both of these teams, but I do have Purdue plus 5.5, so I will be trying to see if they're going to pull that off for me. And then tonight, my nightcap will be watching some more episodes of Game of Thrones.
Do you got any bets right now, Dylan? Or
no, nothing out there. Nothing out there. I'm gonna have to fill out a bracket at some point. Right. I love that none of us even talked about like watching the bracketology and the tournament show. But
we're gonna be watching Adam King and Nicole Sharon on 10 TV Plus at 5:45.
You are right about that. So I'm gonna have to schedule the rest of my evening around that. We're also losers too because it's gonna be 70 degrees outside. Reimer mentioned that it's gonna be windy again.
Yeah, what's
but
the
all
wind
of us
like,
are complete losers that we're not gonna be outside enjoying this. I guess Isaiah has every summer weekend to look forward to.
Exactly. Might as well be July 4th today.
You know what? I'm glad you said something, Dylan, because I did tell my girlfriend we could do something at Bridge Park today outside, and I forgot initially. Now I need to figure out what my plans are exactly. Isaiah, you were just out there last night. What do you recommend?
At Bridge Park?
Yeah.
I was trying the entire day. I was out there doing a bar crawl. I wanted to go to local cantina so bad the entire day, and the only reason was I knew no one would be there, and I know that they have free chips and salsa.
Yes.
And so we've been like drinking throughout the day.
It's a veteran move. Fill your stomach up.
Exactly. We've been drinking for so long, and we've been going from bar to bar, and they were all packed, and it was too much to handle, and everywhere was so expensive, and I was getting hungry, and I was like, can we please go to local cantina? I know they have free chips and salsa in there, and I know I will be able to sit down. Nowhere else could I sit down. I needed a break. No one would go with me.
So it's funny. One of the reasons why I told her we would go out is because we've been dating since close to the end of the last year, the end of December 27th. I know our anniversary. I know she's listening. And we have really like no great picture of the two of us, but I feel like the wind is not going to allow us to get a good outdoor picture. So that mission might have to wait another week or so.
Look at you planning things around pictures. Man, oh man.
For Dylan Tyre and Isaiah Jacob, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. Thanks for listening to The Fan on a Fan Sports Sunday.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.